Why do children die of cancer? If God is all powerful, can't he stop it? If he's all loving, why would he let it happen? If he's just, what sin has the baby committed?
I've seen this argument a lot, and it makes sense. If God is so good, why does he let children who haven't even had time to accept or reject him die? Basically, it's Adam's fault, not God's. In Genesis, God made mankind in his own image, and told them that they would be responsible for the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. However, God does not want robots. That's not how love works. Love without choice is an illusion. So, he gave Adam a choice. Rule with God and love him, or reject the God who created him in search of power. Obviously, Adam made the wrong choice. Now, this isn't to say that God's creation was flawed. Adam had complete free will and just made a bad choice. That's not a design flaw, that's free will. God is described as an all-loving, all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-good entity. When Adam rejected God, he rejected everything that God stood for. Since Adam and Eve were put in charge of all of Earth's creation, not only were they cursed, but the entire world was. Now, God was not a fan of their choice, and especially not a fan of the one who deceived them. But God is also all just. So after seeing Adam completely betray him, he can't just let that slide. Would a good judge let someone go who committed high treason? So, God devised a plan. He wouldn't wipe humanity off the map because he put them in charge of Earth. But he told them, "Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life." But there's a second part to this plan. Though he just couldn't let their transgression slide, being just, he couldn't leave his creation to die hopelessly. So, being loving, he decided that one day he would send his son to pay the ultimate penalty of our rebellion, a one-way ticket to hell. So, to recap, Adam and Eve's poor decision cursed themselves and the entire world to be opposed to what is good. But, God made a plan to one day rid them of this curse. But, unfortunately, the curse doesn't end with them. The Son of God, Jesus, allows us to be reconciled with God. So on the day where God counts all of our sins, Christians who have sinned, which is all of us, will be found innocent. However, because he allowed us to live, we have to be born into this sinful world at some point. And that is where the main problem is. Essentially, we are born of Adam, and even made in the image of Adam. And Adam is cursed. So what does that make us? That's right, completely cursed. This curse makes it so that things on Earth don't work as intended. For example, cancer shouldn't happen, but because of a mutation in our DNA, anyone can get it, even children. Now, you may say, that's not fair. And you would be right. But because of Adam's mistake, the world isn't fair, and it's constantly trying to kill us and itself. In the wise words of Cliff Connectly, God is fair, the world is not. Never get the two mixed up. So, is it the child's fault that they got cancer? No. Is it the parents' fault? No. We are born cursed. The second we are born is the second we begin to die. This isn't God's fault either. In fact, the only reason we aren't living in hell already is because of how much he loves us. Here's something to think about. If the entire world sinned against God, essentially committing high treason to the highest king, and God punished it rightly, meaning we all went to hell, would he be at fault for just being just and punishing evil? No, that's just justice. We get what we deserve, hell. But he doesn't like that outcome, and I myself am not too fond of it either. So, to ensure justice, someone has to take the punishment, and that someone should be innocent. Otherwise, it's just plain old justice, and someone's just getting what they deserve. So, God sent his son, the only living being that didn't deserve to die in our place. But even still, God isn't going to drag you into heaven. If you really don't like God, living with Him forever would be worse than hell. So all He asks is, if you want to be reconciled with God and live with Him forever, follow me. If you want to take your punishment on yourself, I don't recommend that, but you are entitled to do so. So, I hope that answers your question. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to comment them. Trust me, I want to get to the truth just as much, if not more than you. If it's true, it can stand up to any coherent criticism, and I think Christianity does. Have a blessed day.